If you're going to be a web developer, you have to be patient, and you have to really enjoy learning, because you're going to be learning even when you land a good job. You're going to be learning every single day. So try and be patient, try to follow along. I know people can get a little aggravated with videos that are over, like, 25 minutes. But if you're that impatient where you can't watch an hour-long course, then you're probably in the wrong profession. And I don't mean to sound harsh or anything, but I don't want to steer anybody down the wrong path. And I really do mean that wholeheartedly. All right, so enough with the preface. Let's go ahead and get started. So, what is HTML? It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. And a lot of people just starting out don't realize that HTML is not a programming language at any level. It's a markup language for creating web pages and documents. Okay, HTML documents. One of the key elements of a programming language is logic. So you can have things like conditionals where you can say, if this is true, then do this. HTML, however, doesn't have any of that. HTML is used to just display and format elements of a web page. That may be a text paragraph or a heading, a bullet list, or an image, or many other things. It's strictly presentational. Just try to remember that. There's no logic, there's no actual programming. So an example of a programming language would be JavaScript or PHP or C Sharp. These are intricate languages, and they're responsible for things like connecting to a database, for like an online store, something like that, user login, dynamic functionality, things like that. Now, with that said, that doesn't make any programming language more important than HTML. In fact, if you're getting into web development, HTML, at least in my opinion, is much more important, because HTML is the building block of the web. Every single site that you see outputs HTML to the browser, no matter what kind of advanced programming it uses on the back end. All right, you can build a website using just HTML and CSS. CSS, of course, is a styling language, and we'll get into that in another video. But you can have just an HTML site without any JavaScript or any PHP or anything like that. It will be purely presentational. You can't have like an online store or anything with just HTML, but you can have a basic business website with, information about the company and so on. Now, it is harder these days to get a job with just HTML and CSS knowledge, but you can do it. There are still companies that are purchasing websites that are strictly presentational. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff, so let's move on to what we actually need to get started.